that. And now the Bible has the answer. The questions are yours. I go to the Bible, God's holy word, to find answers. Wonderful questions before us today, so please stay right there, and we'll get to the first question right now. Were the words on the wall of the banqueting hall in Daniel chapter 5 familiar words? Well, yes. Scholars have discovered that they were familiar words at the time. However, the application of those words was a mystery. Mene, tekel, upharsin, weighed in the balances, found wanting, divided, given to the Persians. Well, what's that all about? The Spirit of God directed Daniel to tell them what it was all about, that night the nation was waiting. By the way, C.M. Ward used to tell us that every man passes over God's scales on his way to eternity. Weighed in the balances, found wanting, kingdom divided, given unto the Medes and Persians. That just tells us that God's in control. And now question number 2. Does Matthew 18 verse 6 apply to abortionists today? Well, that passage tells us that the person who offends one of these little ones, little children, that it would be better for that person if they had not been born, or that if he was cast into the midst of the sea. What does that mean? I don't know anything that could be more offensive to anybody than to kill little children in the womb. And so I believe that passage in Matthew 18 verse 6 does apply to abortionists today, and that God is totally opposed to this cruel, this awful business of killing babies before they're born. And now let's get to question number 3. What do Bible students mean by tulip, T-U-L-I-P? Well, John Calvin, with some of his friends, met at the Council of Dort when he was still in his 20s. By the way, he wrote his famous book regarding the Institutes of the Christian Religion when he was 27. And so there were young men who hammered out the theology of the Council of Dort way back then. And Bible students to this day use the words T-U-L-I-P, tulip, to help them remember the tenets of that theology. T stands for total depravity, U for unconditional election, L for limited atonement, I for irresistible grace, and P for the perseverance of the saints, or as is popularly known today, eternal security. Those are the words, the letters, indicating the tenets of faith by people who call themselves Calvinists. Now, you didn't ask me my opinion regarding all of those, so I won't give you my opinion. Those of you who watched for 58 years, of course, know what my attitude is. Thank you for these good questions. I trust the answers have been a blessing. If you have a question you'd like me to use on The Bible Has the Answer, please write it out, send it to me. I'll be delighted to hear from you. I'll get to your question on the air just as quickly as I can. And when you write, all the address you need is simply Faith to Live By, Box 426, Winnipeg, Manitoba, R3C 2H6. Heidi and Rick, now, he giveth more grace.